Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Yes.
Beautiful day at the stadium. Soccer being played outside of it, and inside, soccer jerseys being given away as the YES Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Yankees against the White Sox in the final game of a three-game set from the stadium here in the Bronx. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside Paul O'Neill. So happy to be with you this Thursday evening for Yankees baseball on Yes. Yankees going for the sweep of the White Sox. Yanks have been red hot. You look up and down the lineup, so many guys hitting. And Paul, it is just such a joy to watch Cody Bellinger go to work in the box.
Right, not just hitting. You take every aspect of the game, and he checks all the boxes. Obviously, he was an MVP in 2019. Unbelievable against lefties. His 11th home run of the year last night. But anything he does, solid at bats, situational hitting, defense, running bases. If you open a book on how to be a good baseball player, you're going to see Cody Bellinger. He does everything for this team.
And he has been on quite a tear of late. Last 14 games, 327 batting average, 5 extra base hits, 12 ribbies, and an OPS tickling 900. Well, Ryan Weathers on the mound tonight for the Yanks. He has struggled with the long ball of late. Why? Aaron Boone dives into that next, right here on Yes.
Another beautiful night in the Bronx as the Yankees go for the series sweep against the Chicago White Sox. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. The Yankees sure have been fun to watch as of late. It has been the offense that is stealing the show, but I think it's important to note that the pitching is doing their job as well. Tonight, they hand the ball to Ryan Weathers for the 14th time this season. He is one guy they'd like to get back on track. When you look at his last 3 starts, he's pitching to an ERA just over 8, and he has allowed 7 homers over that span. Earlier, I asked Aaron Boone what adjustments Weathers needs to make to get back on track.
It's just been the long ball that's hurt him. You know, he's thrown the ball really well. You know, for a couple outings there, you know, he was getting deep into the game, and there was a home run that would kind of, you know, sink him or not sink him, but, you know, kind of wreck the line a little bit. And that was with some heaters in his last game against Toronto. It was a slider and a changeup that weren't executed that ended up leaving the ballpark, and it kind of, you know, wrecks what otherwise is a guy who's throwing the ball really well. So, you know, just got to do a better job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. And we feel like if we can do that, you know, he's throwing the ball in a way that should allow him to continue to have success.
Weathers gets the ball next on Yes. Rucco and O'Neill with the call. We'll have first pitch after the break.
Brought to you in part by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. Buy Tunnel to Towers, donate $11 a month and amplify your impact. With a car or land donation, go to t2t.org. And buy Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop nissanusa.com. How about that wind whipping here at this stadium?
Yeah, that's going to be one thing you're going to have to keep an eye on. Is it going to die down, or is it going to continue? Because obviously those balls in the gap that's not affected by the high part of the stadium can be an issue.
You see the way the wind is gusting. We'll get to the official metrics on it at some point. Take a look at the White Sox lineup. Chase Meidroth leading off. Then it's Randall Grichuk, Miguel Vargas, Colson Montgomery, who had a multi-home run game last night, the first of his career. Edgar Caro, Braden Montgomery, Acuna, Junior Perez, and Tristan Peters round out the White Sox starting lineup. And for the Yankees, Ryan Weathers goes 2-5 with a 4.36 ERA. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, you got to stop the streak here. 3 consecutive starts allowing 5 or more runs. And after a really good start to the year, he threw the ball really well early. You got to limit the bombs. And you're talking about home runs. 7 home runs in his last 3 starts. And 12 of the 16 runs were caused by those home runs. So you got to figure that out. You got to think off speed if you think about it. Changeup and breaking balls combined, hitters have really struggled off of Weathers. Only hitting 195 and only 176 off his breaking balls.
Let's take a look at the defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Bellinger, Jones, Dominguez in the outfield, McMahon and Caballero on the left side, Chisholm and Rice on the right side, Escara behind the plate with Goldschmidt DHing. So this is the Yankee lineup when they are going to face a right-hander, which Sean Burke, the bulk man tonight for Chicago, is a righty. And Weathers gets ready and deals. Fouled straight back, 0-1.
Do you find it odd? I mean, you never want to tell your opponent anything, right?
Yeah.
You know, if a guy can't play, you don't tell him. But the majority of the time when you hear about an opener, they tell you who's going to come in usually is the bulk guy.
You know what? That's such a good point.
It only took me, what, 5 minutes? Huh? You like that? Usually
That's it. We're done for the
innings.
night.
Yeah, it usually take me 5 or 6 innings.
But you're right, Paul. Why telegraph it? Swing and a miss there on a changeup, 1-2.
Well, there's a good changeup. We talked about the numbers on his breaking ball and changeup. I mean, he's always had a good fastball. That's what a lot of people, you're noticed as fastball pitcher, you go up there looking for it. That's why that off-speed stuff is so effective now.
The 1-2. Fouled back. Take a look at the umpire scouting report, brought to you by our local Kia dealers. Gabe Morales in his 13th season. More high strikes, more outside strikes on lefties. And my draw spoils it again.
Always picking on the lefties, huh?
That's right. Well, they know you can foul it off and keep the bat alive.
I couldn't foul a wiffle ball up at this time. I'm getting real worried about when the grandkids get to the point where they want a little wiffle ball. I don't know if I can show up anymore.
They're going to say, Grandpa, we heard you were a multi-time All-Star. What happened?
I got some stories for him. Just time to sit down and have a story.
My draw strikes out as Weathers able to burn it on by.
Yeah, a little four-seamer, and that's a good sign because the last couple games we're talking about him giving up runs. He's kind of lost that strikeout pitch, and you know, for him to be effective, he needs some strikeouts.
Here's Grichuk, and nice backdoor breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. Grichuk has had a nice season in this role with Chicago after being DFA'd by the Yankees.
Yeah, this is his strong point. You remember when he was here with New York, it was, you know, primarily to play against left-handed starters, and he really has taken off since he's been in Chicago.
13th big league season now. Another good breaking ball. That one catches plenty of the plate. 0-1-2. Tap slowly foul. Paul, a night like tonight as an outfielder, when you notice the wind, you see the flags, how do you start to compute that out there?
Well, a lot of times in, you know, full stadiums, it really doesn't affect the ball that much. But like I said, in the tunnels where, you know, the upper deck does not really take it, it can really blow it in, blow it out. So we kind of had a cheat sheet in old Yankees team because you had the gold bat on the flagpole that would really show you the direction of the wind.
The 1-2. Donnie used to say it's wherever the knob is pointing, right?
Exactly.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Weathers.
Well, fastball to my drop for a strikeout, and then a big old breaking ball down and in. Good pitch to Grichuk, number 2.
And even with the struggles over the last few starts and fewer strikeouts in those games, Weathers is still 8th in the American League in strikeout percentage. As that one misses, 1-0.
I always hate to hear, oh, it'll even out. You know, he got off to a great start. Where he had 4 or 5 games where the Yankees scored him no runs. And,
yeah.
You know, we lost 1-0, 2-1, and all of a sudden you think, well, it'll catch up. But then you have a couple bad outings. Then the numbers really look bad. Where if you take away his last starts, you know, he got off to a great start, threw the ball well.
Right, his first 10 starts had a 3.14 ERA, and homers weren't really an issue during that span. It's just been in the last 3 where he's given up 7 home runs. The 1-1 is fouled away.
Really establishing his changeup and breaking ball. As the scouting report, I mean, the numbers are really down against him with off-speed stuff, so he's really showing that early.
Sub 200 against the slider, sweeper, and changeup for opponents. Here's the 1-2. Tipped into the glove and hung on to strike 3. 98 from Weathers. What an impressive first with the wind whipping at the stadium. Tied in the top of the first. Head to the bottom of the first. Take a look at the Yankees starting lineup. Ben Rice leading off. Paul Goldschmidt hitting nearly .360 over his last 18 games. But it's Bellinger, Dominguez, Jazz, Spencer Jones back in there. Caballero, Ryan McMahon, and J.C. Escara. Brian Hudson making his 5th start of the season. The reliever is the opener. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, it won't be long. If you turned on the game to watch Hudson pitch, don't go anywhere. The Sox made a switch today going to Hudson as an opener. His average start this year has been 11.5 pitches, so he's not in there for the long haul. And reversal, not only the plans for him to not start today, but he's backwards. Lefties are hitting .313, but righties .197. And who's next? Well, usually I'm going to go to Sean Burke, who's a right-hander who's been a starter all year. They're trying to trick the Yankees here.
Oh, we got something loose. A baseball. Yeah, Peter's going to toss it up. Whoop, whoop. Oh, Sabathia jersey there. Very nice. We saw some 21s earlier today. That always means it's going to be a good night.
Can't complain. Saw a lot of soccer jerseys too.
Yeah.
I sport mine tomorrow for the USA.
3 o'clock start tomorrow for them, right?
That's right. Tune in before we come to the Red Series.
Yeah. The 1-0 to Rice. In there for a strike, 1-1.
With his size and his delivery sidearm as a lefty, you wonder how the splits are so backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, lefties, this should be a tough bat for lefties, but like I said, lefties hitting .313 off of him.
Rice ahead 2-1. I mean, you're right, Paul, with the motion and that sweeper, you wouldn't think lefties are hitting as well as they are.
It's kind of like an awkward at bat, but you know, chances are, you know, he establishes breaking ball, but you know, if he doesn't throw hard enough to get inside, there's 2 questionable pitches. I think Ben Rice wants to hit his helmet.
Yes, seemed like he wanted to. Let's take a look at the defense, brought to you by our local Tri-State Genesis retailers and our Car Shield defensive player profile on Tristan Peters. 7 outs above average this season, tied for 4th among all Major League outfielders.
Hey, remember the catch Pereira made last night in center field? Tremendous catch, but got banged up.
Yeah.
He's under protocol now, I think.
Yeah.
Concussion protocol.
Here's Goldschmidt. The numbers are just exquisite on the season. Here was the injury here, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a full sprint run and really not knowing where the wall is. And you see those knees kind of just buckle. You know something bad happened. I think everybody appreciate the effort and the play, other than possibly maybe Ben Rice, who hit the ball.
Now, I spoke to Spencer Jones on the lineup show. He played with Pereira last year in the minors. Obviously, they were both in the system together. And he said, wow, what an unbelievable catch. That's sick. But he could not even look at the replay, saying that is just awful to watch anyone go through that, especially considering he was able to make the play and then have that happen. As we saw, he was able to walk off on his own. He was placed on the IL with a concussion. But any outfielder that plays knows that there are some risks, but it doesn't stop you. Paul, I'm sure you can attest to this from trying to make the play. Just unfortunate there for Pereira.
Yeah, a lot of times, to your point, Meredith, you know, you're kind of coasting into the wall. I mean, that was a flat-out sprint where you don't feel the warning track under your feet, anything, and you just know sooner or later you're going to hit something.
And he hit it hard after making that outstanding catch. Here's Cody Bellinger. Paul detailed in the open just how good Bellinger has been. 6 for 8 in this series thus far. Oh, and 1 on Bellinger. Paul, do you see any of yourself in Bellinger?
I'd like to, because he's good. You know, he's a little longer than I was inside, you know, because he really tries to pull the ball when he's looking in. But, you know, his adjustments to the ball away every once in a while, that pitch right there, I didn't have that swing. I was always trying to stay up the middle a little bit. But I love his adjustments. And, you know, if you're asking, would you want to hit like that? Absolutely.
Yeah. There are times watching him and, you know, just trying to think of comps in my head where, especially the way he covers the outside part of the play, it reminds me of you.
Well, he's having a good year. I'll take that compliment.
Strike 3. That's an impressive job by the opener, Brian Hudson. We go to the second.
Stadium, where we are scoreless here in the Bronx. Ryan Weathers looked like a man on a mission in the first inning, retiring the side pretty quickly, and for good reason. His frustration was really boiling over when I spoke to him after his last start, telling me, I am sick and tired of putting this team in a hole.
And he might have done it again. That ball is long gone off the back wall of the bullpen. Colson Montgomery continues to put on a show, and it's 1-0 White Sox.
Montgomery, all of a sudden, you're starting to see his power. We've kind of talked about, since he was called up last year, top 5 of all of baseball in the number of home runs to at bat. So 2 yesterday, another long home run today. You know when you text somebody,
yeah,
and then you get a response, and then you text them back like the exclamation points to emphasize it.
Yeah,
Meredith, we just emphasize your little cut in right there. The home runs, huh?
My goodness, there is no way the frustration wasn't boiling over right there as well. But in speaking to pitchers, Paul, you know this is another look right here as he gets a hold of this sinker. 1 run is generally not going to hurt you, especially with what this offense has been doing. That's easy to flush. It is the multiple home runs in a game that has really been hurting Ryan Weathers as Jose Caballero makes the play here. And the thing that has bothered him the most, although it didn't happen, this is the first pitch, is that a lot of times the mistakes have been coming with 2 strikes. And he simply said, look, I have to execute. I have to throw better pitches. He feels good in the bullpen, but then for whatever reason in those situations, it sometimes is not translating. That has been the most frustrating thing for Weathers. He feels strong. He feels healthy. He knows he's capable, but in certain situations, he is just not getting the job done. Now, guys, Aaron Boone put it into perspective. Of the 3 games prior, 7 pitches in about 300 pitches thrown, but still he has to find a way to keep the ball in the yard.
if you look at the location, and that was a sinker that was hit out of the ballpark, that ball's intended to be inside or underneath the hands. And it's a two-seamer. A lefty can get to it out over the plate, which that ball was, right down the middle of the plate.
Good stuff from Meredith. And, to her point, is that one skied to right. Dominguez tracking it with the wind. Wow. Just hangs on for out number 2.
We need a whoop out there. You know what a whoop is, Ryan?
Yeah, whoop band, yeah.
Because his heart rate just went through the roof. That last 10 feet or so, and when that ball starts running away from you, that is a bad feeling. As an outfielder.
Wow.
You don't know how much you're talking to yourself there.
And that's some data I'm sure every other outfielder's taking note of for tonight. StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. How about the wind speed by height? And the higher you go.
No, have you seen this? It's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's unbelievable. So 11 miles an hour at 120 feet. I've never seen that. That is incredible.
Well, the truck and Troy, you guys got it going on. Look at this.
Whoa, 150 feet goes up to 19 miles an hour. Roll to third. Oh, McMahon, he's just so smooth over there. Inning over. But not before Colson Montgomery tags Weathers for their solo shot. 1-0 White Sox. The New York Yankees Foundation's Grand Slam auction is open now. You can bid on amazing memorabilia and VIP experiences like delivering the game ball on the field before a Yankees-Dodgers game and many more. Scan the QR code or go to yankees.com/Grand Slam auction and watch Yes's game coverage this Saturday to get a special look at many of the items up for bid. There's a lot of awesome stuff there. Here's Dominguez as Brian Hudson will get a second inning of work after a quick 1-2-3 with a couple of Ks. Dominguez has been hitting from this side of the plate since coming back. A double in each of the games in which he batted right-handed.
A lot of times, Ryan, when you come up as just get your first taste as a major leaguer and, something doesn't go right and you hear the talk about it, either from, the press or the organization, okay, he's not hitting against right. You almost take it as a,
hammers that deep to center field. Peters will catch up with it on a well-struck out from Dominguez.
I mean, you almost take it as something you want to prove people wrong with.
Yeah.
And I think that, Dominguez has enough talent where, if he makes his mind up that he's going to be a good right-handed hitter, he'll become a better right-handed hitter.
You know what I've always wondered with that stuff too, Paul, when certain guys, let's say they are stronger from one side or the other, or they're stronger against lefties and righties if they're not a switch hitter. I do wonder how often in the early stages of a player's career when they do get pigeonholed one way or another, and then all of a sudden you stop seeing, a lefty or a righty, or you're hearing it, can it get in your head and become a sort of a self-manifesting thing?
Yeah, certainly. But, you also, it is such a huge advantage to be a switch hitter. And if there's any way that you can become good from both sides, I mean, now you're an all-star.
Yeah.
And there's just too many tough at-bats, left on left, right on right, where if you really have no uncomfortable at-bats if you can switch it. I found odd. I used to talk to Bernie about it and tell him how lucky he was. He was a great switch hitter from both sides of the plate. And I said, how lucky you are. He's like, you know what? Sometimes I feel good on one side and horrible on the other, and that always kind of bothered me. Just like, really, I didn't understand it. But he also said sometimes it's double trouble if you're struggling for both sides. I'm like, well, I know about that with that one side. So yeah, if I'm doubling that trouble, I'm in trouble.
And he was so good from both sides of the plate. And when he started his career, the conversation was always, oh, he's so much better naturally from the right side. That's where there's more power. And then you watch him develop from the left side, and he's every bit as great.
Yeah, it was always a challenge when, you know, Bernie would hit behind me and they would bring a lefty in to, you know, to get me out. It was such a challenge any way I could. Get on base somehow, walk, anything, because I knew Bernie was just absolutely going to kill him.
Jazz rips that one foul. Three and two on Chisholm, who homered last night. And grounds that to first. He's retired. 2 down.
I think Aaron Boone, by hitting Jones late in the game, would figure that he'd probably be hitting off a right-handed pitcher, but I think Venable on the other side figured out, if I can get a second inning.
Yeah. Oh, does the wind play a role here? It does, and it drops. And Jones has a double. Oh, every fly ball going to be adventure tonight, baby.
Well, we saw the wind, and that one got up into the upper deck where the wind's a little bit stronger. And you see once it starts taking, I mean, you just cannot outrun the baseball as a fielder. Good job by Jones, too, putting his head down, running, making this an easy double when it was not, the play wasn't made.
And it is officially ruled a double. Jones, yeah, I mean, he started running pretty quickly there.
Believe me, it's so easy to put your head down and just jog to first. And we got a pitching change here. I told you, don't go very far.
Full on Yes is brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees, and by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. The sun reflecting off the suite deck here at the stadium. And now the bulk man is in, Sean Burke, with Spencer Jones on second after the windblown pop-up. Caballero takes ball one.
Kind of interesting with Burke. They've, he's been a starter. He actually was their opening day starter last year, so the stuff is there. But he has such a tendency, long counts, walking people, that they found out that, in the bulk role, you get through the inning, first inning, you can get through the middle of the game if he has a stop.
Yeah. Even batting average left and right for Burke this year, 235 against lefties, 231 against righties. OPS higher for the lefties by about 80 points. .42 on Caballero. I just hope we see more pop-ups tonight that are hit that high.
It's because you don't have a glove on out there.
This is true. We've already seen 2 adventures. We're not even done with the second inning. The 1-2. Tipped into the glove, and that'll do it for the Yanks in the second. We go to the third. Chicago, a 1-0 lead. For free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits home run. Here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Jazz and Goldie. Top of the third inning, and the White Sox a 1-0 lead on Colson Montgomery's long home run into the Yankee bullpen. Junior Perez waves and misses 0-2. MLB debut for Junior Perez after 8 seasons in the minors. Known for his defense at all 3 outfield positions. 24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Can't even imagine the nerves and excitement making his big league debut here.
Everybody thinks you always want to make your debut away from home. You know, get that. It's a little less nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Until your away games in Yankee Stadium, you know, that kind of multiplies things a little bit.
He's worked the count full after being behind 0-2. Pitch and a walk for Perez, or is it? No. We had 1 ball too many on the scoreboard. So now it's 3-2. And to pay off.
Don't give up on it. This might blow back on the field.
That's right.
You know, it's so funny. Thinking about a win game. We had a game in spring training one year, and I'll never forget it to this day. The wind was blowing like 40 miles an hour.
Oh, my God.
And I was playing left field with the Yankees right when I came over here. And I remember Brett Butler hit me this ball, and I literally kind of misjudged it and sprinted to catch it. And I'll be darned, the next year, I swear, there's a baseball card of it. And I remember the play, and I looked so, you know, just in a panic trying to catch it, and I can see Brett Butler kind of running down the line in the thing. It's just, it caught me funny when I saw that win.
It's a great action shot, huh? As Perez will tap out in his first big league at bat. I mean, for those just joining us, the wind at the top of the stadium especially is just whipping tonight, and we've already seen a couple of adventures in the outfield. Jason Dominguez just barely was able to track down what looked like a routine fly ball to right, and then Spencer Jones ended up with a double because of a pop-up that Acuna, the shortstop, could not hang with through the breeze.
We're going to take our drone down. Is our drone allowed to fly around in these winds?
I think it's wind resistant.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I'm not a fan of turbulence, Paul, so.
No.
Are you a guy who's white knuckling it when it gets bumpy up there, or you're chill, you're sleeping through it?
I'm not a big fan.
Oh, you're not a fan either. All right. Well, we both need different seatmates then.
Well, there's a sinker that he gave up the home run earlier to Montgomery, but that's where that pitch is supposed to be, right under the hands of a lefty. Really, the only thing you can do is what he did is just pull it foul.
The 1-2. In there for a strike as Peters challenges it. And we will see if Tristan Peters at bat will continue. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Oh, yeah, he knew.
Yeah, this ball was supposed to be
Pitches the ball.
away.
Chicago retains their count.
Width of the plate. He set it up by that sinker in under the hands, and then that was not able to execute the slider away.
And that's only 0.6 inches off the plate, right? It's not that much, but for a hitter, you guys just have such conviction, know it so well. Flicked into left. Didn't get high enough for the wind to be a factor. 2 down. Here's Chase Mydroth. Had 2 hits yesterday. And takes a strike. Mydroth wasn't so sure, but he's not going to pull the trigger on another challenge right there.
Probably thinking in this situation, 2 outs, first pitch of the count, you know, very tough to challenge certain pitches. You see how Ascar really swipes that ball across the plate. So umpire really has to have an idea where that pitch is before Ascar catches it.
White Sox have lost 9 in a row at Yankee Stadium. Came into this series hot, but the Yanks have taken the first 2. Weathers ahead 1-2 here on my draw with 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 3rd. The 1-2 smashed into left field, a base hit for Mydroth. It's a good-looking hitter.
He really has shown a lot in this series. You know, his ability to play second base, middle infield, and you know, put together good at bats. This really isn't that bad of a pitch. Kind of down in the strike zone, but he stays with it.
Here's Grichuk. Talked about how good it was to see his former teammates here with the Yankees earlier in the series. Also talked about how he totally understood the move of DFAing him because of how loaded the bench was.
Well, he didn't get off to the start that he wanted. He was hitting under 200 for the Yankees. Then he's really taken off with the White Sox. So, I mean, again, a guy that can help you out against lefties, play some different positions.
Entered this game 328 against lefties this season with an OPS over 1,000. Weathers ahead 0-2. These are those pitches that Meredith was talking about earlier. And Weathers comes through as he gets Grichuk on a slider. 4th strikeout for Weathers. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 White Sox. Time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. This is Aristides Batista here at the stadium yesterday as he watched his Yankees put up 10 runs in another win over the White Sox. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes and pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game.
That little girl keeping score. How do you like that?
I love that.
Maybe I can borrow that from her later in the game.
Don't worry, I got you covered, Paul.
You got it?
Yeah.
I peek over at Michael's every once. So let me see.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, you're very neat with your stuff.
You think
Different colors.
so? Different colors. I do different. My handwriting isn't great, but my color coordination, strong. Michael's handwriting is definitely more aesthetically pleasing than mine, though. He has like some curl to his letters. Yeah, no, there's a now untaught finesse to the way he writes his letters. Do they teach cursive in school anymore?
You know, I was just going to say, you've got little kids. Wait,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they teach cursive writing anymore.
Evie's in elementary school next year. I'm going to have to find out. McMahon hammers that into left center and deep. Peters back, looking up. That ball is gone. Ryan McMahon continues to be Mr. Oppo. This time over the 399. And it's a 1-1 game.
Well, it's impressive stuff right there. McMahon, again, more than half his home runs have gone the other way. That to a lefty over the 399 sign. That's kind of Death Valley. And he knew this off the bat. He was jogging down to first. So, I mean, that's a lot of power from a lefty going the other way.
And this is now an extended stretch of him hitting well after he had been struggling mightily at the plate this season. And you and I talked about it, Paul, with the way he fields. If he can give you something offensively, oh, it's such a plus.
Something. And you know what? If you see him swinging the bat better lately, it's because he's staying on the ball and he's hitting the ball the other way. And if you have that kind of power the other way, you really don't have to cheat a lot to pull the ball.
The 2-0. That ball is hit in the air to right. Montgomery over, makes the catch. What a blast. A 430-foot home run means baseball fans score too. Unlock your free 20-ounce Baja Blast by registering now at BajaBlastHomeRuns.com.
You know, I'm kind of shaking my head at this. That's a sinker away, and that ball went off the back wall of the bullpen.
Now Rice trying to go that way, but Perez there in left center for the catch.
Yeah, now see how he stays through this, and he doesn't come off of it and hits it deep.
Wow.
Almost, you know, the ball's at the plate there. You know, your body is staying with it where you can really drive it. You see Cody Bellinger knows. Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's such a great shot.
Times a night.
Love seeing there's a couple little kids in the middle there high-fiving each other. It really is an incredible shot.
Oh, it's funny though. You know, if Stanton's up or Judge is up and they're in the line, they could pop one out to the catcher and the people are jumping up. Everything up their bat's supposed to go out of the ballpark.
I always remember that. The first, when you're first going to games and you're in the park, till you learn the trajectory, right? Everything off the bat in the air feels like it's got a chance. My dad used to look at me and say, "Can of corn." Strike three, Goldschmidt down, looking that'll end the inning, but not before. Ryan McMahon with an impressive power display, 430 to left center. Hey, make your favorite players all-stars. Scan the QR code to cast your 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star Ballot daily, or visit MLB.com/vote. Yeah, that guy will be going. Top of the fourth inning, 1-1 game. Miguel Vargas leading off. Yankees with a solo homer from Ryan McMahon in the third to tie it, 430 feet to left center. And you and I, James Smythe, we're still buzzing about. I mean, 430 the other way, that's a blast.
I mean, like I said, 399 out there the other way is kind of Death Valley, but I mean, that just didn't clear the wall. That hit the top of hit the bottom of the wall in the back of the bullpen.
Two one. And the 3-1. Fly ball, shallow right center. Jazz tracking it into the glove for the first out. Paul, this is incredible. Somebody sent you the picture of the card you were talking about.
Picture of the card.
With you trying to track down that wind-blown ball in spring training.
I look so athletic there, don't I? Wow.
Wow. I mean, you could tell what you were doing. That's how incredible the wind must have been there. Let's take a look at the AL home run leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Ben Rice, Colson Montgomery tied with 20. Murakami on the mend for the White Sox, tied with them as well. Broken bat roller going to be a tough play. Weathers, gloves, flips. Nice. Oh, baby. Beautifully done by Weathers with poise and precision. 2 down.
Well, again, this is an in-betweener, and if you don't, you're going to glove it and flip it, and if everything doesn't go right, he's safe. But be able to glove it backhanded and then flip it that way. Nice play by Weathers.
We got to get you to send that card to Troy so we can see it on the broadcast. It's
like
amazing.
I said, you just remember weird things in life. It's crazy.
2 outs. First pitch swinging. Will it hang up? Oh, yeah, it will. Inning over. Dominguez there. A quick 1-2-3 for Weathers. who also showed off his own glove. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 1-1 game. The Yankees homestand continues as they kick off weekend set with the Cincinnati Reds. Extended coverage starts at 5 o'clock with 2 full hours of pregame leading up to first pitch shortly after 7:05 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Well, one of the things we're doing this season, as you all know, our extended pregame coverage, it really is terrific. You just hang with us all night. Here is Bellinger. Leading off the fourth, 3-4-5 in the Yankees order here. Big swing and a miss against Burke. 0-1. Good rhythm to this game thus far tonight. Awkward hack there, 0-2.
It was kind of a check swing until it made contact with the bat, and then he just kind of followed through.
The 0-2. Bellinger can't find the outfield. Mydroff able to flag it down, 1 away.
Pretty good swing on the last one after the foul off, and that's what you have to do as a player, to be able to close a book on a bad swing.
Let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365. We're winning is everything. Jason Dominguez plus 575 to hit a homer. Had one in Toronto, a big one. Big swing and a miss there, 1-1. Awkward swing there to change, 1-2.
A good sequence. He had that slider down and in off the plate, and then followed it up by a ball going the other way, and you could see Wade going away from the baseball, looking for the ball in again.
The 1-2. Strike 3. 99-mile-an-hour sinker. You said it, Paul. Excellent sequence there.
Yeah, inside, outside soft, and then put him away with a good fastball at 99.
Burke, a 2.04 ERA in his 3 post-opener long relief outings this year. And off to a good start in this one. 97 with a fastball. Jazz looking back, 0-1. Dotted. 0-2. The 0-2. Jazz lays off, 98, 1-2. Yankees 15-5 in their last 20. Now in a 3.5 game lead over the Rays atop the American League East.
Things have really changed over the past couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, really hit the skids, and the Yankees have just taken off. It's just amazing how quick things can happen.
Jazz fouls that off himself.
Remember, Jazz fouled a ball off his foot last night. I don't know where he fouled this one off, and I don't really want to know.
I don't think it was the foot. Oof, he looks like he's really in pain.
Well, Ryan, what'd you do today?
Oof. He is.
I mean, it
needed more than a minute there.
Again, I had this flashback. I'm in spring training. I pinch hit for no reason. I don't know. Well, I foul a ball off the plate, bounces up, hits me there. I'm laying on the ground, sweating. Stevie Donahue runs up. Like, you know what?
What can you do for me, Stevie?
Alone. You know, everybody in the world knows what just happened. What are you going to do?
Ooh. This one's lasting a while.
I told you it makes you sweat. It's terrible, man. You see the guys in the dugout know exactly what happened.
Yeah. Well, they sure do.
It's all fun and games, but it's not you.
Yeah, they're probably fighting the urge to laugh with now maybe genuine concern for how long this has gone on. Right. And Jazz still in pure agony. I mean, this is as long as I can ever remember it lasting. Ooh. Good to see him on his feet.
Ryan, you know what? Maybe we ought to go to commercial.
Let's see. Yeah. Suspicions confirmed. Oof. And you can hear the audible gasp from the crowd for those who have monitors in front of them and just saw that replay. There's a lot of the population that can relate to the pain of that moment. I mean, Jazz is he gonna come out of the game? Wow. Anthony Volpe is gonna check in for Jazz. And a 2-2 count. I mean, that is something you really don't see, Paul.
No, yeah, it's you know, like I said, it's all fun and games, but it's not you. But
yeah. Wow. Well, we certainly hope Jazz is all right. Well, we'll all await the official update on Jazz.
I think we already saw the update. You know, the picture tells 1,000 words, man.
Certainly did. He is out of this game, and Volpe in. Now, Volpe works the walk. Volpe gets credit for the walk. However, had he struck out when a pinch hitter comes up mid-at-bat with 2 strikes, the strikeout actually gets charged to the original hitter.
That's right. You know what? That's probably the least of Jazz's concerns right now.
I would agree. So Volpe on, Jones up after a lengthy delay. And Jones guts and misses 0-1.
Yeah, that's a pitch you're going to see a lot. Ever since he stepped foot in the major leagues, you know, as a tall guy, pitchers want to know if you can get your arms extended. And that's a pitch you're seeing a lot, especially with 2 strikes up right under his hands.
Jones with a double, his first at bat, and a towering pop-up that Acuna just lost in the wind. The 1-1. Volpe going. Throw down high, and Volpe is out. Wow.
Oh, even on a high throw, I have to take a look here. I'm sure he thought he was going to be in there easily with that throw that high.
What's interesting is the White Sox aren't running off the field.
It's pretty close. I don't know if you're going to be able to overturn that. Yeah.
Yeah, Volpe's foot kind of got stuck. Got stuck elevated. And the Yankees will not challenge that. He's thrown out to end the fourth. We go to the fifth. 1-1 game. Well, Cabby goes to second. Volpe at short now after Jazz Chisholm Jr. leaves the game following fouling a ball off in a region you don't want that to happen with. Weathers has looked sharp for the most part tonight. One mistake to Montgomery. A solo homer in the second. Otherwise, he's worked efficiently, worked quickly, been effective.
Yeah, he shoots his off speeds a lot, and again, he's topped out at 97, so it's not like he's lost his fastball. I think he's just trying to set his fastball up by using his off speed stuff, kind of pitching backwards.
And a lot of strikes, as you see, 36 of his 55 pitches. Montgomery went around and is retired for the first out of the fifth. All-State good hands replay. How about Ryan Weathers showing off the glove?
Yeah, bouncing off the mound, cracked bat, and Jasmine's not going to have enough time. So he gloved it backhanded, flipped it ahead. Good job.
Paul, does it feel like something's missing tonight?
And what is it?
The Scottish fans.
Oh, they
haven't heard them yet tonight. I don't know if they're here, but we haven't heard them yet tonight.
They're not playing tonight, are they?
That's a good question. I don't think so. But if they are, well, now we know why we haven't seen them.
Oh, maybe they couldn't get seats tonight. You know, it was a giveaway.
Yeah.
And pretty crowded.
Yeah, they love their beverages.
We go there.
1-2. Tomorrow night in Foxborough against Morocco.
Okay, they just couldn't get tickets tonight. Too many Yankee fans here tonight.
But tonight in the Bronx, the first 18,000 people who walked in got those cool soccer jerseys with the stars that you see in the background, Paul.
That's
I got
right.
one up here. Ryan and I both did.
Oh, how nice. Did you get one for your friend?
Yeah, it's up here too, Meredith.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Well, how about Acuna able to beat that out? On a little tag. Caballero saying, my bad, my bad. He laid back. He could not lay back on that ball. Had to charge it and did not.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know if he got shielded a little bit from Weathers initially, but yeah, he did not get in. And Acuna runs extremely well.
I mean, that's a righty who just burned down the line. You can see Caballero knew it immediately that he should have been charging that. In the dirt with a change. Against Junior Perez. Told you earlier, making his major league debut tonight with Everson Pereira on the concussion IL after last night's great catch going into the wall left center. Runner goes and Perez fouls it off. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Again with the changeup. Paul, you said you wanted more off speed today, and he's delivered so far.
Well, the numbers, if you look, on his year, people have had a lot of trouble on his off-speed stuff, and he's got a much better changeup this year than in the past. He's always been a hard thrower, but when you can mix in those off-speed pitches and kind of set up your fastball, much more effective.
Acuna dancing, not going. Pitch down and in. Mascara pops out, and Acuna will stay anchored.
Well, Acuna, 12 stolen bases, leads the White Sox in that. But, we went through a lot of games, a lot of the year where there had not been a stolen base against Weather. Extremely good, especially as a lefty, at holding runners. Jarren Duran finally got one a couple starts ago.
Perez has put together some tough at-bats, his first 2 big league at-bats. Battling here with Weathers again. Runner goes, pitch a strike, throw down, he's not in time. And Caballero says, check that.
Boy, what a good job from Mascara. Well, not a great pitch, and he actually sidearmed this ball. Unbelievable strength in his arm to get it there. See if he got the tag down.
Oh, Caballero's right. He did. The conviction Caballero had.
Yeah.
The Yankees are challenging the safe call at second base.
I mean, yeah, that's going to be a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Well, good job by Mascara. He actually changed the angle he was going to throw. I love his reaction.
Oh, it's so good. And Weathers fired up. I mean, that is an incredible throw from Mascara. And a very quick snap tag from Caballero.
Yeah, a lot of the tags now, they lay it down. This is the old school thinking, but the throw was so high. You see, he kind of came sidearm. Throw was so high that he had to swipe it down. And that tag like that seems to me gets there quicker, where now they kind of put the glove down and wait just in case the guy comes off the bag.
I love Booney's disgust when he has to challenge something.
Is it me, or some of these challenges are
After
taking
review,
longer?
the call's overturned. The runner's out. Yankees retain the
We
challenge.
told him this a while ago, didn't we, Ray?
It's not just you. They could just listen to us. Strike him out, throw him out, DP. Audi dealers.
Well, you can't get much better than this. You get a strikeout, and then you have to kind of abbreviate your throw, drop down, and a great tag from Caballero. Strike him out, throw him out. That's a good thing in baseball.
Yeah.
Speaking of catching, Austin Wells, I know down on the farm on rehab. Meredith, we know anything about this?
We do indeed, Paul. 2 home runs Austin Wells hit in his second rehab game. First game goes 0 for 3. Aaron Boone said that he had worked with their hitting coordinator down there a little bit before this past game, and he saw some immediate results in that one. 2 home runs with AAA today. He's on the 10-day IL with those cervical headaches. Guys, first and foremost, he is not experiencing those headaches anymore, so great news there. And then offensively, it looks like maybe he found a little something at the plate. The Yankees are not sure whether or not they are going to bring him back up immediately or have him get in some more games. Aaron Boone said that they would discuss that at some point in time today and make a decision as to what they wanted to do with Austin Wells.
Tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Thank you, Mayor. And Spencer Jones with new life, getting the at-bat after Volpe was thrown out trying to steal to end the 4th. As Jones goes around, And that's the 4th strikeout for the bulk man, Burke.
Well, again, it wasn't a question of his stuff. And then you see here, he's got good enough stuff to get in. He's had a sinker. He's got a good changeup. It's his ability to throw the ball over the plate. I think he was leading the American League at like almost 19 pitches per inning with a lot of walks. And that just wears him down.
Caballero takes the ball, 1-0. Brian Hudson started this game as the opener for the White Sox. And Sean Burke since, both effective. And for the Yankees, Ryan Weathers has been really good tonight. Caballero lines that into left center. That'll drop for a hit. And Caballero was breaking it down at first. Now going to try and speed into a double, and he is in there.
Well, a lot of times, I mean, as a hitter, you have such a tendency to kind of follow the baseball instead of run. He got himself in a jam where he had to almost make a trick slide to get in there. And that's got to be close.
And the White Sox are not going to challenge.
It looks like the left hand got in there, or the right hand got in there before the tag was made.
It was not played well out there by Peters. He looked like in between whether or not he wanted to go all out to try and catch it or play it on a hop. And as a result, it squirted by him a little bit, and Caballero gets to second, a single E8. McMahon was the Yankees' biggest swing of the day, a 430-foot homer.
Good solid thing, but he does have his head down, but then he kind of hesitated a little bit, thought it was caught, and then we got to turn it on. Well, the good news is he can turn it on. He's got good speed. Again, yeah, it's just got, and if you're playing back up there, it didn't come exactly to him. Made a good throw. Did a good job by Caballero to get that hand in there.
Paul, you're 100% right. He thought that Peters gloved it on a hop. That's why he broke it down initially, and then he sees the ball behind him and turns on the Jets. The 0-2. And McMahon watches it tilt outside, 1-2.
Acuna really watching Caballero at second base. He's a daring base runner. He will take a chance if he's given the opportunity.
Whoa, got him. Yes, they did. And Caballero is picked off.
Yeah, he was going all the way. He thought he had him timed, and a good job by the White Sox. See right here, as soon as you cross over, yeah, you're done. Well, he tried. Tried to avoid the tag. The ball was there so early.
Picked off, 1-6. So 2 down now. Oh, they're going to call a pitch clock violation. And the count now 2-2 on McMahon. Here's the tag.
It looked like it just got on the left arm before the right arm got in there. But boy, he's going to be beat up here with a couple of these trick slides on this inning.
McMahon goes down on strikes. That'll end the 5th. 1-1 game to the 6th. The pick off, the big play of the inning. Shackey taking a look around the majors. Mike Trout expected to be placed on the 10-day IL. A shame because he's been having a strong season. Pete Crow Armstrong, best OPS in the majors in June. And Ellie De La Cruz, a .309 average over his last 20 games. One and one on Peters. Shows bunt, pulls back, 2-1. Peters has been red hot. Flicks that into center. Jones there. One down. Weather's been very efficient tonight too, Paul. 71 pitches, 1 out into the 6th.
Yeah, he's recovered well because we've talked about his last 3 games, giving up all the home runs, and he gives up a home run in the 2nd inning, and he's recovered from it. He didn't allow, the Yankees had fought back. It's 1-1, but letting it snowball, he's really thrown the ball well since that pitch in the 2nd.
Here's Chase Mydroth. 0-1. Just missed, or did he?
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Oh, wow.
The pitch is a strike. New York retains their challengers.
Yeah, that right there, the catcher knows. They got a lot of plate.
Yeah, squarely in the zone. Neo 2. Mydroth fouls it off. Mydroth in his 2nd big league season. Has hit for a little more pop this year. 6 homers, already beat last year's 5. And he's one double tie of shying last year's total. Strike 3. Went backdoor with a sweeper and clipped the corner. That's strikeout number 7 for Weathers. Hey, Yankees fans, fireworks night is back again this season. Kick off your 4th of July weekend at Yankee Stadium on Friday, July 3rd. And stay after the game for a post-game fireworks show courtesy of Baby Ruth. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com. There's a strike on Grichuk. He's used that sweeper really nicely against the righties over that outside third of the plate.
Well, that last curveball on Mydroth, if you look at a perfect executed backdoor breaking ball, I mean, that was it. Everything was there. Location, break. You put together, videos as a hitter. You want to see your great swings, and pitchers can do the same thing. That's the one you just want to see over and over and over again, and just visualize how that felt.
The 0-2. This will be the 80th pitch for Weathers. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 6th, the 1-2. He got him. Ryan Weathers dialed in tonight in the Bronx. Strikeout number 8. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Your relations for the Yankees 17 years ago, and it continues to be just a wonderful week of inspiration and great storytelling and highlighting, different people in the broader community here in New York who are truly making a wonderful impact. And Meredith, I know you caught up with Jason earlier just to talk to him about Hope Week.
Well, Ryan, today's honoree is Brian Schwartz, the founder of the national nonprofit I Wanna Mow Your Lawn. They provide elderly, veterans, and people with disabilities and their neighbors free lawn care and outdoor help. And you're seeing a lot of the landscapers there in judges' chambers taking in the game. They were all part of the event today. Pretty cool stuff.
Really cool stuff, Meredith. As the Scara flies out to right.
Well, if you think about the Yankees have such a a following, and you feel a need to give back, and I don't know that they thought when this all started that it would blow up into something this good. I mean, there has been some unbelievable stories over the years with this Hope Week, and you can only tip your cap to Jason Zillow for being a big part of it.
Remember the first year they did it, and the Yankees going undefeated at home on that homestand during Hope Week, and just all the good vibes as Ben Rice singles to left field with one out here in the 6th. And you could tell the way all the players were genuinely touched by the different people they met and the stories that were told.
Yeah, a little cut fastball, and if you're beat as a hitter and you try to pull off, you can't do anything with it. But if you just fight through that ball like Ben Rice did right there, you still got an opportunity to drive it the other way. He has made immense, by opening his stance, not to worry about the inside pitch. Just his improvement as an overall hitter the last couple of years. Really, really good to see.
44,809 fans here on this Thursday night. Here is Goldschmidt. Cued softly to first. They'll go to second for one. Back to first, not in time. As Goldschmidt and Rice will trade places. Nicely played by Vargas. And 2 down.
Again, it was not hit. Vargas gets rid of it, but you see Ben Rice trying to break it up, and he actually apologized at the end because, in the old days you were taught to, flip him, so he couldn't even try to turn 2. Not anymore. Or at least slide. And
The White Sox are challenging the slide rule at second base and the play at first base.
All right, they're challenging.
And he actually came up on the bag. I don't see how that could be. That.
Yeah, it seemed like Rice was. Maybe he veered actually a little outside of him and tucked his hand back. White Sox feeling it's going to see kind of is.
But if you can reach the bag, you want to take away the lane from the first baseman.
The runner has to make a bona fide slide based on the rule. Can't roll block.
But, this looks kind of like just momentum. And as soon as you hit the bag, you kind of pop up. And it wasn't an intentional, I'm going to take you out. You're right. I was out by a mile, which he did. He slid early, which you better, because, the shortstop will drop down low and make you get down.
verbatim, when sliding into a base in an attempt to break up a double play, a runner has to make a bona fide slide, such as defined as the runner making contact with the ground before reaching the base, being able to reach the base with a hand or a foot, being able to remain on the base at the completion of the slide, except for at home plate, and not changing his path for the purpose of initiating contact with a fielder. That last part would be the one part that they might take umbrage with.
Followed every order there except for possibly the end. But, you know, it looked like Acuna kind of went into the base path toward him. So we got a lot of replays there.
Yeah.
One of them will show, right?
After review, both calls were confirmed. There was no slide violation at second, and it's confirmed the runner is safe at first base. Chicago will lose this challenge.
All right, there you go. Well, Venable not so sure. The inning continues for Bellinger.
Yeah, many times we saw that. I really couldn't see anything that Ben Rice did that would indicate that he was trying to do anything more than, you know, obstruct a little bit. But you're not allowed to, you know, shoot guys in left field like you used to be able to.
Oh, 0-1 on Bellinger. High pop-up. Does the wind play a role here? Montgomery tracks it into the glove to end the inning. We go to the 7th. Tight one at the stadium, tied at 1. 9 and 10. 3 stops in 2014.
I think I got this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Got a beat on it.
Like, I'm afraid to blurt it out, though, because it might be wrong, but I think I got it.
Okay. Hit hard, McMahon. Like butter. 1 down. All right, I got it.
You got it, sir?
I got it.
All right. I'll let you announce the.
All right.
When we get to that point of the game. As you watch Cruz warming up in the bullpen, did you see the new stat that they've come out with? The swing and miss, and they've taken. Now they can track how far you swing and miss. Some of the guys are swinging. It's almost 8 inches they're missing his forkball by.
That's a great stat.
My God.
How about exit velocity presented by Spectrum? Montgomery, 420 feet to right center to lead off the second. And that is the White Sox sole run. And the Yankees run came on a Ryan McMahon solo homer.
Well, that's a changeup, but you don't see a lot. I never understood why lefties aren't supposed to throw lefties changeup. Obviously, the movement's going to go back, but it's still an off-speed pitch. And now you still have the breaking ball if you want another off-speed pitch. But he tried to get a sinker in on him early, and he missed out over the plate. That was the cause of the home run. Kind of shaking his head. He missed so much with that breaking ball. I thought he had set up, but it's kind of a wasted pitch in the middle of the count.
And then all of a sudden it's 3-2. Really strong start from Weathers here tonight, though, after he'd been struggling the last 3 coming into this one. Paul, you wanted to see more breaking balls. We have.
Yeah, he's really used his breaking ball and changeup a lot tonight, and it's been really effective with it. They're 3-2 and just missed. I think Montgomery kind of scared him away from that fastball after his first at bat.
That is just the first walk and fourth base runner allowed by Weathers, and he is not thrilled to see Aaron Boone walking out there right now at just 87 pitches and dealing tonight. The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by ShopRite. We are here. Buy your local tri-state Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And buy the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. Some of the greats in Chicago and New York throughout the years.
Yeah, but the one I'm going to throw my vote, I'm taking Peter Luger's. There's no doubt.
All right. So you're Luger's over Gibson's guy.
No doubt.
You know, I do appreciate that. Gibson's, they always stay open late for us out there.
Hey, they're very nice. But
yeah.
Peter Luger's is Peter Luger's, right?
Yeah. Luger's is a New York staple, there's no doubt. So Cruz comes on for Weathers with one out in the seventh. You know, because of the length that Yarborough and Blackburn were able to give the Yankees in the pen over the last couple of days, the Yankee high leverage relievers are all well rested. The Weathers have been really good tonight. Off the end of the bat into center, racing in. Jones will get there for the second out. Remember, last time out, Aaron Boone pushed the envelope with Weathers. This time, he takes him out on a little bit on the earlier side.
Yeah, I thought that he was upset that he was being pulled out of the game, but it was because he missed a pitch.
Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. I got you, Paul. So the reaction from Weathers, less about being pulled, more about.
Yeah, that he missed with that slider, the
Yeah.
3-2 slider, because he was almost, you know, apologizing to Escara. And it's not like he slammed the ball into Boone's hand. You know, he probably knew he was on a short leash at this point of the game. Well, you would say it's a bounce back start, though, because, you know, coming into the game, everybody's talking about, you know, is he getting tired?
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, he threw the ball extremely well tonight.
Was so sharp, allowed just 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 run. Trying to make sure it stays just 1 run on his ledger. Cruz ahead of Montgomery, 0-2. 2 outs, 1 on, top of the 7th. The 0-2 from Cruz. He got him. That's what you're talking about, Paul. Whiffing nowhere near that splitter.
Yeah, there's just no way to track this ball. The seams are almost like a knuckleball. You see them, could go down and in, could go down and away. Whatever it did, Weathers likes it. Strike 3.
As the New York Yankees welcome an honored military.
Of the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
All right, fans, it's stretch time, so please join in and sing along as
right, thank you very much, Justin and Jack. Taking a look at the game summary. 1-3-1 for the White Sox, 1-4-0 for the Yanks. Pitching's been real good, and then a couple of solo homers. And here we are in the bottom of the 7th. Dominguez, Volpe, and Spencer Jones. It was Chisholm hitting behind Dominguez, but Jazz took a foul tip off of a region you don't want to and was down for a while before finally departing this game. Dominguez fouls that back. Burke, the bulk man tonight for Chicago. He's been efficient as well, just 56 pitches thus far.
Yeah, this is totally against what he's been about all year. He's struggled with walks, struggled with long counts, and he's been aggressive tonight, and he's gone after the Yankee hitters.
You know, one thing we've seen from the Yankees over the last few weeks in these tight games late when they have needed a big hit, their offense has found a way to score. Oof, that is a dangerous foul ball. The 1-2. Chop to the right side. Dominguez hustling and nearly beat it just out for the first out of the inning.
I'm sure they're going to take a look at this. Dominguez was hauling down the line. I mean, he was motoring.
And he's waiting. And the Yankees want him to take a look.
The Yankees are challenging the outlaw first base.
Too, this late in the game. The only problem is that you see a great angle right here. Yeah, I think he beat him, but the only thing is, if it's not obvious, it's got to be overturned, and that some kind could be a problem. The one thing you're taught to do as a runner is, if you can in stride, is hit the front of the base. And look where he came up about the middle of the base. Still, in my mind, is safe, but if he catches the front of the base, it's obvious.
To the naked eye, it looks safe when the play was happening. Paul, to your point, I don't know if it's definitive enough to overturn the call that was made on the field, one way or another, whatever that call had been.
Yeah.
And in this case, the call on the field is out. Let's see if there's anything here that shows it definitively.
Yeah, you really can't tell. I mean, at that angle right there, it looked almost like a tie. But it's going to be very hard to overturn this. Now, from that angle, it looked like he hit the top of the base before.
Yeah.
After review, the call stands. The runner's out. New York loses challenge.
Yeah. That was a call stands, not call confirmed.
Yeah, again, I mean, he got going. He was motoring, but he did catch the middle of the base. And looking back, I mean, that cost him from being safe or being out.
Here's Volpe. High and in, 1-0. Volpe worked a walk after taking over in the middle of that at bat for Jazz. A 1-0. 1-1. Volpe fouls it straight back. Volpe gives it a drive. Deep left field. Off the wall. Volpe racing in his second. Thinking about three. He's going for it. And he is out by a lot.
Well, he took a chance. He hammered the ball off the bottom of the wall. If this ball's cut, he's safe, but it wasn't. It went all the way through. This ball was smoked, and you know, he's off to the races. He knows it's going to be a double, if not out of the ballpark. And about right now, he's got to make up his mind on his own. But again, I mean, the throw went all the way through, and it was enough on target to get Anthony Volpe.
It's a nice play by Perez, flagging it down in his big league debut.
Let's see if that ball's caught or off the line a little bit more. Volpe gets in there. And neither happened.
Now you take that chance with 1 out. You're not taking it with none or 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think Aaron Boone wants this team. If you're looking at Caballero, you're looking at Volpe, you're looking at the guys with speed to be aggressive. You make them make good plays, and a lot of times, even at the major league level, they won't. But obviously, that did not work out.
Couple outs on the bases tonight. Caballero picked off second, and now Volpe thrown out, going second to third. Tim Hill up in the Yankee pen. Two and two. Jones has had a real steady quality of at bat since coming back up, and even before, but now he's been getting the results. A 2-2, fouled away. Aaron Boone talked about that yesterday, just the overall competency of the at bats we've seen from Jones up here.
Well, he took that changeup away, and he got a fastball, which he fouled back right down the middle of the plate.
The 2-2. Well, right down the middle of the plate again. Takes it for strike 3. We go to the 8th, tied at 1. This game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Oh yeah, breaking it down up there. Big smiles. Top of the 8th inning. Cruz still out there and deals ball 1 to Antonacci. Pinch hitting here for Acuna. And drives that down the right field line. Dominguez into the corner. That ball's foul.
You saw Cruz's reaction. Anytime a left-handed hitter late in the game pulls a long fly ball, your heart just stops, because you know it can just hit that pole or just hook around it. Watch this. It's like, oh, no, no, no. I didn't do it. Then you see the angle. Like, yeah, it's foul.
Yeah. The 1-1. Oh. Scar reacted like that was in there, but decided not to challenge it.
And the ball looked low. It was close, but it looked down.
A 2-1. Turned on and ripped into right field, a base hit. Dominguez will dig it up and slow it a bit, and Antonacci is in with a double.
I can't tell you how I've seen this change in baseball, and it has to do. We saw her last night. You must be here for the whole series. Talking about the pinch hitting and you know, the access that you have down the tunnels. You get pinch hitters are just having great at bats where it used to almost be impossible to be a good pinch hitter. Cruz challenged him in the fastball count, and Antonacci just hammered it down the right field line.
And now Aaron Boone will go to Tim Hill with the White Sox sending up the left-handed swinging Gonzalez. So things dicey here in the 8th with the go-ahead run on second. Nobody out. Hill coming in. Look at this bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. And Blackburn and Yarborough ate the bulk over the last couple of games. Monday was an off day, so the Yankee pen is well rested. Now the Yankees add Cruz in there to start the 8th.
Okay, so Ryan, he does not have to he finished the inning.
Yes.
So that's over. He does not have to face the third batter. But once you bring him out,
yes,
and the pinch hitter Antonacci's a lefty, he does have to face him because he brought him back out, which is kind of a good job for Venable.
Correct. Once he goes out to the mound to start that inning, then he has to face that batter. You can't then yank him.
Ouch. Well, not that he's trying to do it. Tim Hill has great control, but you know, you have set up a double play position right now, or a situation. Just absolutely lost that one up and in.
Now, just to put a bow on that, that sort of rule intricacy, it basically reenacts or reactivates the 3-batter minimum.
Yeah.
So he got the final 2 outs facing 2 batters at the end of the inning. He could have been done, but once you put him back out there, he has to face the 1-hitter. So he faced the lefty, and Antonacci gave up the double. Then boom, goes to the lefty and Hill. But now, first and second, nobody out. Peters lays it down, foul. But it's still an interesting decision, Paul, because Hill is not a strikeout guy, whereas Cruz is.
Yeah, well, now that you set up a double play by hitting a batter, you're in a better position now to, get what you want. That's a ground ball double play, but they're going to try to move him over by bunting, and Ben Rice was all the way in, almost on the dirt by the time he laid that ball down.
And that's another bunt foul from Peters.
In that time, McMahon was able to come way in. Volpe shifted and was going to cover third and try to beat Antonacci to the base.
Let's see if they have him bunting with 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's be very surprised if you see him square around again. Tim Hill, not the easiest guy.
Oh, my goodness. He hit him again. So that's 2 hit batters from Hill. And now it's bases loaded, nobody out. Cruz encouraging his teammate.
Well, just out of nowhere, you see Tim Hill getting ahead in the count and then just losing a ball inside to a lefty. There's no chance. Back calf, ouch.
He had hit 2 batters all year, and he hits 2 straight batters here tonight.
Yeah, I would think that might be the first time in his career he hit back-to-back lefties.
Well, you know what? Someone can probably give us that official answer.
Every once in a while you get a break in the action, and James is at work. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, James is always working on something.
Well, by the way, I almost had a flashback. I looked over there. You were over there.
That's right, man.
The stats in 2000 what?
7.
2007
to 2011. Here in the booth with you guys. I was at Fordham as a junior when I started.
Nice.
Big spot here, infield in. Mydroth up. Here's the 1-0. Mydroth has been a tough at bat this season. We've seen that here in this series.
Yeah, this is not a good matchup for the Yankees. Even though Tim Hill, creates a lot of ground balls, Mydroth, he's a good contact hitter. Infield in, a lot of bad things can happen.
And the Yankees having to stick with Hill because this is the 3rd batter. So you can't go to the righty yet. Paul, you called it. First time he has ever hit back-to-back batters in his career. It's only his second career game hitting 2 batters total. Never mind back-to-back. Trying to get a big out here. And does. Strike 3. Mydroth chasing. 1 away.
Boy, you could see him just put a little extra effort in that one, and it kept the ball up in the strike zone, which got him the strikeout. I mean, he's usually down in the strike zone with the sinker. Just a good, smart pitch right there. Got a huge strikeout.
And now the Yankees will call on Duvall with bases loaded, 1 out. Have it tonight, and the answer is Jason Nix.
Yes. I don't know why that popped in my head, to tell you the truth.
I mean, that's the right day for that last name, right? Yeah, Jason Nix showing off a little power, a little versatility. Yeah, Justin Verlander saying, what did I do? Mark Burley. We got brand names giving up these long balls. Big-time pitchers. And he won a bronze medal in the 2008 Beijing Olympics. How about the 3 homers he had in 2013? Big names as Duvall serves one up. Deep right field, and that is gone. Benintendi pinch hitting, and the first pitch he sees unloads a grand slam to right. And it is 5-1 White Sox.
Well, Benintendi, we talked about it. He has totally changed. He's a veteran now. Totally changed his theory on hitting. He opens up, tries to elevate everything and pull everything. Just got a pitch that he could do it. Grand slam off the bench. What a night.
Well, Venable has pushed the right buttons with his pinch hitters in this inning. Started it with Antonacci, who doubled off Cruz. Aaron Boone went to Tim Hill, who hit 2 batters, came up with a big strikeout, and then Duvall, whack.
Well, inner half. I mean, you got to get it in off the plate if you're going to show a lefty in that situation. Either sink the ball away or get it in off the plate. That was right there in his wheelhouse. See how he opens up a little bit quicker now, looking to pull everything.
Tim Hill was not happy coming out of the game. And after the home run, Cruz less than thrilled. That ball is driven in the air to center and deep. Jones back just in front of the wall to make the catch. This has been an interesting inning just for Aaron Boone, and how he's navigated the bullpen.
Well, you see that cutter right there, and a good cutter is in off the plate under the hands, and that ball just sat there. And that's why the cutter always scares me, because if you don't get break at the end, it's nothing but just a kind of a mediocre fastball right there.
I think if, and we talked about this at the time, so this isn't a second guess, this was a first guess, Paul. I think if you're reviewing this inning, the fair query you could have is, should Aaron Boone have just let Cruz keep going after the Antonacci double?
Well, if you're looking for a strikeout, yeah. If you're looking for possibly using him again tomorrow, maybe not, I don't know. But, you know, Tim Hill, obviously, you don't see him drilling lefties very often. Hit 2 lefties, 1 ahead in the count. So it just did not work out. The bullpen has been extremely good for the Yankees recently. Not tonight.
Magic wand. I wonder if there's Dragonheart string in there.
I went over my head, Ryan. I don't know what in the world you're talking about.
There's a few.
Vinny and I are drummers. We thought that was a drumstick.
Oh, well. I thought Vinny was a Gryffindor. Maybe a Slytherin after all. The 1-0. You didn't know I was this well versed in Harry Potter, huh?
No.
Oh, yeah. Even had the sorting hat on. By the way, the pitch to ball through 99.8 miles per hour, the 4th fastest pitch hit for a homer in the majors this season.
Yeah, but it was flat. It was a cutter. You know, the ball's supposed to move at the end, and he opened up, and it stayed right there.
2-0, tapped weakly over the mound. Volpe will throw out Caro to end the inning for the damage done on Benintendi's pinch hit grand slam. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. This game is taking a turn. Top of the 8th inning. A grand slam off the bat of Andrew Benintendi on the first pitch thrown by Camilo Doval. And it's a 5-1 White Sox lead. See if the Yankees have some late inning magic in them. Caballero, McMahon, Escara due up as Caballero takes ball 1. Sean Burke been really effective in the bulk roll tonight.
Yeah, only 71 pitches. I mean, Venable's going to try to milk every out that he can.
Swing and a miss. Good slider there. A rare righty in that Chicago pen.
Yeah, they've kind of held them back to a game that, you know, they're actually in. The first couple games, obviously, the Yankees scoring double figures. Game was out of hand.
A lot of defensive changes we'll give you in a moment as Caballero down on strikes. That is the 7th strikeout for Burke. Hey, the New York Yankee Foundation's Grand Slam auction open now. You can bid on an amazing memorabilia set, VIP experiences. How about this one? Delivering the game ball on the field before a Yankees-Dodgers game. Many more things to bid on as well. Scan the QR code or go to Yankees.com/Grand Slam auction and watch Yes game coverage this Saturday to get a special look at many of the items up for bid. There's some extraordinarily unique opportunities in that auction. Definitely check it out. Vargas makes the catch at third there as he moves from first. Gonzalez is at first. Montgomery at short. Antonacci in left. Reminder, the White Sox came into this series hot. Having taken 2 of 3 against the Dodgers.
Yeah, the one thing that the White Sox have not done is won on the road this year. They're 14-22, extremely good at home, 24-12. So
Escara turns on that, flies it to right, hitting over a 1-2-3-8 for the Yanks. We go to the 9th. White Sox with a 5-1 edge. Since 1898. Well, the Yankees trailing 5-1 to the White Sox here as we go to the 9th. And Doval, who coughed up the grand slam, will stay out there here in the 9th. It's been a game of homers. Yankees 1 run coming on a Ryan McMahon solo shot. Colson Montgomery, his 20th of the year, put the White Sox on the board in the 2nd, and then Benintendi's pinch hit grand slam in the 8th. And those are the runs tonight. Here's Braden Montgomery. Waves and misses, 0-1. Yankees have had it all rolling of late. Had won 8 of 9. Entering this one tonight, 15 of their last 20. And the White Sox have lost 9 straight here at Yankee Stadium. Fly ball, left field, deep. Bellinger tracks it right on the track for out number 1. Here's Antonacci. Who got the rally started with a pinch hit double in the 8th off of Cruz. Aaron Boone then turned to Tim Hill, who did something he had never done in his career, hit 2 straight batters. And then picked up a strikeout. Before Duvall came in, served up a grand slam to Benintendi as Volpe throws across, 2 down. Yankees will have the top of the order in the 9th. As they look to rally, it'll be Rice, Goldschmidt, and Bellinger. Gonzalez pinch hit and was hit by a pitch.
It's so weird to see Tim Hill just lose 2 balls against lefties, which, you know, is his strength, obviously.
The 0-1. One and 2.
Duvall is such just an enigma. I mean, you just don't understand when you see the guy throwing 100,
totally
sinking it, cutting, but then every once in a while, all of a sudden, boom, ball. A couple home runs here, a couple home runs there.
Right, you see this 9th, and you say, how could the ERA be over 5? The Yankees have a rally. We'll see. Top of the order coming up. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Let's take a look at, it's now time for mobile performance. And here are the starters for the Yanks and the Reds. Schlittler, Warren, and Cole. For the Yanks, that 1.82 ERA looks nice, huh?
Well, that last game looks like a pitching form. You got Garrett Cole and Chase from the Reds, a young pitcher who we saw. I think it was first major league start against Yankees.
Yeah, Chase Burns nasty. Here's Rice. Smacks that foul. See if the Yankees can rally here. Burke still in. Hey, fans, go to @Yes Network on X and vote for the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. A lot of good choices. Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, Ben Rice. Your options. They're all going to hit this inning. Here's the 1-1. Rice powers that into center. Peters back, tracking it, and makes the catch right at the wall. Some loud outs to center tonight for Ben Rice. The Optimum Fiber famously fast replay. Paul Goldschmidt homering yesterday to right.
Well, he's got 2 in this series, 1 to left field, and then he just poked 1 out to right field. And that just goes to show you, line to line, Paul Goldschmidt, when he stays with that approach, very tough out.
Goldschmidt broken bat. Hunt back liner that'll drop. And the Yankees with a base runner here in the ninth. Let's take a look at the Papa John's key ingredients. And the Yankees 9-4 without Aaron Judge. Second in the majors when it comes to records since June 2nd. The Marlins, the only team better. Here's Bellinger. Yankees need to put some runners on against Burke. And Bellinger rips it just foul. The White Sox pen is quiet. Burke has been excellent as the bulk man today.
Yeah, only 83 pitches. They think that, you know, by bringing him in and not starting the game, you know, you can get this from him and get later in the game. Well, I don't know if they ever dreamed he'd be trying to close this out in the ninth.
Bellinger had 3 hits apiece first 2 games of this series, yet to reach tonight. The 0-2. Bellinger skies that to left. Antonacci makes the catch. 2 down. Take a look at the Mercedes-Benz road ahead for the Yankees. So tomorrow night, Cincinnati, then a couple of day games against the Reds before the Yanks head to Detroit and Boston.
Well, the old Cincinnati Reds coming to town.
At the end of next week, little old school 80s with ABC and NBC having the final 2.
How do you like that?
Games for the Yanks and Red Sox, yeah.
Right, this is way before your time. I mean, the old, I think it was Monday Night Baseball. Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That one
The pitch is a strike. Chicago retains their challenge.
flirting with the top of the zone, and a successful challenge from the White Sox. Dominguez 0 for 3 tonight, trying to keep the Yankees alive. The 0-1. 98. Burke has looked excellent tonight.
He really is, and he really has. You just look at his stuff, and you can see what the White Sox see in him. It's just how to get him in this form where he is attacking hitters and not walking guys and using up a lot of his pitches.
The 0-2. Good night. Wow. Sean Burke, 99 to end it. He was the bulk man, and he was the man on the mound tonight for the White Sox. Chicago salvages the final game of this 3-game set after the Yankees thumped the White Sox in the first 2. A 5-1 final tonight.
Well, you're looking at Andrew Benintendi looking to do one thing off the bench, and he got that pitch inside, inner half, grand slam. But you know what? The Yankees are playing good baseball. They faced a tough pitcher tonight. Kind of got shut down in offense. It's been extremely hot. Don't remember, Weathers bounced back, threw the ball extremely well himself.
White Sox win it 5-1. Benintendi having fun with his teammates. We'll be back to wrap things up in a moment.